Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode one, or a demo episode, but I'd rather call it episode one of Voice of Alain. What's Voice of Alain? You've probably read a lot, and I've seen thousands of impressions on LinkedIn about the new podcast that we're bringing to you, bringing visibility to your business, however small or big. Every business needs visibility. And we are bringing to you on a regular basis specialists, experts from best companies to give you exactly the right way to do things. Everybody wants to have his own business or her own business. Aren't you sick and tired of staying in an office, in a cubicle, and working for others, making money for your boss while you're just barely paying the rent? Well, with us today, we have our first guest, Jade Dagher, business and income strategist. Good to see you, man. Good
Thank
to
you.
meet you at last.
Thank you, Alain. It's
And
really an honor and a pleasure.
It's the pleasure is mine because I need to say something. I've been looking for jobs in Cyprus for quite a while. Resumes, blah blah, income, rejection, no rejection. I reached a point where I said this cannot work, and you came along. I don't know how. I met you on LinkedIn. That's the
Yeah.
first time I see you in person.
Yeah.
I met you on LinkedIn, and you told me, "Okay, forget about this. It happens to everyone. Invest in yourself. What are your strong points? Invest in yourself."
Exactly.
And this is what you did. So I
Exactly.
said, what's my strong point? Communication. I did 20 years of radio, 20 years of TV. I've did marketing campaigns. I did sponsorship campaigns. I was an MC for international bands all over the world. So
Nice.
communication is my forte. So podcast is good. And podcast is in these days. So I'm going to start right away. I'm not going to waste your time. Somebody wants to start a business. Where does that person start the business?
In the mind. This is the first starting point because everything we dream about, think about anything. If you want to go on a new trip, the first thing that comes to your mind is the country. You start thinking about it, you start dreaming about it.
Yeah.
And then you start doing your research and then you start taking steps. If you want to build your dream house, it starts in the mind. So how you want your dream house to be and so on and so forth. And for the business, it always starts with an idea. So, and the idea is always in the mind. Now, of course, there are a lot of things to take care of to be able to get there, but as a start, it's always in the mind. Then it goes to the heart. And then it goes to the technical issues, which we're going to discuss
It's
later.
interesting what you're
Yeah.
saying because everything starts with one idea.
Exactly.
You can succeed, you can fail, but if you don't try, it would be useless or stupid.
Definitely.
A good
Definitely.
idea.
Definitely.
Okay. You want to open up your own business. Who do you ask? People
Look,
like you?
Look, traditionally, unfortunately, but traditionally, people start asking their friends and family members. Is this right or wrong? Most commonly, it's the wrong thing. Why? Because their friends or their family members, out of protection, out of caring, out of their different backgrounds, they might direct them in the wrong direction. Most
Okay.
commonly, they tell them, you know what? Wait. Wait for what?
That's not the time.
It's not the right time.
It's not the right
Let's
time,
wait
yeah.
to see. هلا بنشوف. So
Yeah.
these slogans, I would say, or the repetitive statements, they are killers. So they could stop somebody from achieving their dream, while the other person would continue his life normally, but he doesn't know or she doesn't know that you just killed somebody's dream by telling them, let's wait to see what's going to happen. What's going to happen? So please don't ask friends and relatives because you are gambling in that area. Now,
Okay.
the second pillar is most commonly people ask lawyers. It's better than friends and family, but lawyers, in my opinion, they come next.
Okay.
So the lawyer, the auditor, and the bank, they are the next step because the lawyer takes care of the legal matters.
Okay.
The auditor takes care of the financial matters. The bank takes care of the banking matters. But before going there, you need assistance. Everybody needs assistance in terms of filtering their idea. Which idea is a good idea? Does it work or not? Do I need a market study or not? Do I have competitors or not? Where can I start? Do I need a big budget, a small budget? I don't need even a budget. So all these matters, you cannot start with the other experts. You have to start by asking people who have experience in that specific area.
Okay.
Ultimately, it's either the competitor or a consultant. But who's gonna ask the competitor?
Nobody.
So technically,
give you
have
wrong
to go,
info.
Exactly. So they may be misleading you. And of course, we're gonna discuss later on what to look for in a consultant. Not every consultant could be the right consultant.
Yeah.
Even myself, I could be the wrong consultant in some other areas. So it has to be a consultant who has expertise in that specific area, so that they can qualify to give you the right guidance, I would say.
Okay, but let's say you have a great idea.
Yeah.
All these things that you just said, you have zero funding. What do you do?
This is what I've been doing for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Look, funding is important, but it's not the most important thing. Because I know on the other side, people who have a lot of funding and they don't know what to do with their money.
We'll get to that. I have a question for that.
Yes.
Okay, you got the idea. You know who to ask. Then we jump into the marketing.
Before marketing. Look,
Yeah.
what we need to do is to incubate the idea. What do I mean by incubate? The idea needs to warm up. Okay, so every idea is a good idea. Many people today ask for, okay, which idea is a great idea? What do I need to do تكسر الأرض and to break the walls and to. Every idea is a good idea. Open just a bakery, it's a good idea. Doing a translation is a good idea. Graphic design is a good idea. Accounting is a good idea. In case you differentiate it in the market. So It's not about having a new idea as it's being promoted. It has to be scalable, innovative, different, etc. These are nice to have. But the must-have is a credible idea, is something you know how to do. So which idea is a good idea? It's the idea that you have experience in, you have the passion for, there is demand for it, and you can differentiate yourself in the market.
Okay. So what about this podcast we're trying to do right now? We're starting. We're not trying. We're doing it.
Yeah.
The voice of Alain. What do you think?
I believe you have amazing experience. You have by default the passion. There is a great demand on podcasts.
Yeah.
We're not creating this demand. It's already there.
Yeah.
And of course, by default, you are differentiated from other people in the field.
Okay.
So from my humble experience and opinion, I believe it's going to be a success story.
Thank you very much. Okay. How do you grow? How do you get to the marketing? I mean, is it now the time to go, let's make a market study, let's do the marketing, let's contact the people who might be our target? Is that how it works?
Look, marketing, at least in my opinion, is two pillars. One, it's a daily thing. It's not, many people confuse marketing with something else. Marketing is a day. Every day you have to be marketing yourself. Now, how, what, with which budget, this is a detail.
Okay.
But now we have the tools. We all have a phone. We all have social media. There's zero excuse not to be up there.
Every day.
Every day.
Okay.
Okay, it's simple. So everybody knows how to take a picture and send by WhatsApp. Instead of sending it to one person, send it to many.
Okay.
Instead of posting it on Facebook alone, Facebook on a Facebook group or on your channels, on LinkedIn and so on. So it's very easy today to market yourself on a basic level. Now, if you want to grow for more, fine. There are marketing experts in the field where you can get more expertise to uplift.
Okay.
So it's like having your house and having a designed house. So having a house, everybody must have a house.
Yeah.
Designing the house, this is where you go to experts to give you better branding, better exposure, better campaign, better design. It's a field by itself, but it's not a requirement to get started. Okay, so everybody can get started from their phone, so there's no excuse, but to grow from there, it's either growing your expertise in that area, and today there are many tools. When it comes to design, there are many applications and software available for free online. There are many things that will help us to get exposed, but of course with the right support you can do more and market more, because again nobody can market for you better than you.
Exactly.
Everybody has an idea. It's his baby. It's his,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah.
nobody can have the best marketeers. With all respect, they do not have the passion that you have for your own business. So
That's why when you told me, Alain, your forte is communication. You've been doing it for over 20 years. Invest in yourself.
Exactly.
Invest in that.
Exactly.
It's like somebody kicked me in the butt. Sorry, guys. Kicked me in the ass and told me, wake the F up. So I woke the F up and I said, what the heck? Why not? And I talked to some people I know in California, in the US, and New York City, people who've been doing this. And they told me, if it's your passion, if you've been doing it for a while, if you are convinced, don't stop.
Definitely.
Do it. Even start from zero. Okay, we're at this stage right now. How do you start increasing your income?
Look, the best marketing in general, and to start increasing the income, is to technically it's word of mouth. Once you do a good product, okay. If you are a bakery and you do a lousy bread
Pizza.
or whatever,
Yeah.
nobody will come back to you.
Yeah.
But once you do a nice product, a nice service, people will come back to you. Today I was contacting somebody to fix the AC.
Yeah.
Okay, and 5 people recommended the same guy,
Yeah.
which means what?
He's good.
He's good.
Yeah.
If he didn't do a good job in their place before, they wouldn't have recommended him.
Yeah.
You know, so, and this goes for everything, for the car, for the clothing, for the podcast, for the business, for the auditing. So people ask people.
Yeah.
Okay. So even if you have the best website and the best social media and the best rating and the best whatever it is, people ask people. So when you need something, you call your friend and say, who do you know who has ABC?
Okay.
So when we do the right thing, when we work with a good conscience and a good faith to provide something that has a good quality and on time, that's already a differentiation these days.
Okay.
This is by the way, this is something very important. Call it a message, a wake-up call for people who are listening to us. People these days are so complicated to be different, while being different today is just about being on time with the right quality.
Don't overthink it.
Don't overthink. Everything else is a secondary thing.
Yeah.
Today we want something. If I'm hungry, I want a good sandwich on time.
Okay.
Give me a good sandwich 2 hours late. I'm
never coming
I'm not
back.
interested anymore.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Give me something in 5 minutes, but it's not good. I'm not. You know. But give me a good service at the right time. That's it. Now everything else is a plus.
Okay.
So it's not that complicated to be different. And once you get started with the first, then he's gonna refer back the second.
So
the third.
you're gonna start. Let's say you start with zero, like we said at the beginning, guys. You start with zero, and then what do? You just take the phone and start calling people, calling your targets.
Look, 3 things I would do, which I do. I do 10 things, but
Yeah.
3 are basics. The 4 to 10 are secondary.
Yeah.
Okay. You have emails.
Okay.
It's very easy. It costs you 0.
Yeah, but they can just take it and goes to spam and throw it in the bin.
It will always happen.
Yeah.
But if you send 200, not the 100 will throw it.
Yeah.
It's like if you distribute 100 business cards,
Yeah.
not the 100 will throw it.
Yeah. Some will
Probably,
pick the teeth with it.
Yes. So it's going to be always useful for something.
Yeah.
So it's technically you have to get out to people. So getting out could be by a business card, could be by an email, could be by a phone call, could be by, we don't need to mention them all, but all the social media platforms
Yeah.
posting on the wall and then getting feedback and impressions and so on. Could be sending them message on the same platform. So I can put a post on LinkedIn, or I can send somebody a message on LinkedIn. And you can use the blog, you can use the website, you can use, it's unlimited. You can make YouTube videos, awareness campaigns, and most of the things that we mentioned are free of charge.
It's a good thing that you mentioned the website and posting, because guys who are soon going to be with us, clients, our future clients, you get your episodes. We got lots of special offers. You get your bulk episodes. Show your visibility, show your product, show your services, what makes you different, what makes you better, and post it anywhere you want.
Exactly.
On any platform.
You can send it by WhatsApp as a story on WhatsApp. It brings people.
Yeah. I mean, even if they're on your own social media as a company, you can post it on YouTube, post it on LinkedIn, post it anywhere.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
Exactly.
It's really amazing. Okay, now we're starting spending. How do we reduce the expenses?
Look, reducing the expenses, because to finalize on the first point, you promote first, but that doesn't mean it's gonna convert. Okay, so when you promote, we get visibility, but then you need to convert this visibility into something.
I love that word, visibility.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
we're talking, guys, if you were from all over the world, if you're watching us, we're talking right now, we're in Cyprus, the beautiful tiny island of Cyprus. It's amazing. It's a tiny market, but you got hundreds and hundreds of financial companies, hundreds and hundreds of construction companies, which are pretty big. Okay, what makes you different than the other? What makes you better than the other? What's your better product? What's your better service? What's your best staff? This is what you can do in a good podcast. You know,
100%.
show your strengths, show what you got.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly. It's the vitrine, I would say, of the shop. So it's very important that for once, the first step is to get visible. And the second step is to start converting those into clients.
Okay.
And the conversion will happen anyway. Some people, this is something I learned 20 years ago. Somebody told me, look, if you know nothing about it, there's always somebody who's willing to try your service. You know, always.
Okay.
No matter what you do. And then if you do the right things every day, then you get at least 2 people out of, for example, 10 who will try your service. And then if you do the proper follow-up, and then you get the 3rd one. And then if you are really different in what you do, then you get the 4th one. So, but you're never gonna get 10 out of 10.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Even if you have whatever shop that you have or whatever kind of business, you will never close 100% of your deals. It's impossible.
It doesn't happen like that. No.
You know, so it's important to get started. And then once we start closing the deals, once we start having business on the table, so technically, going back, we don't need funding. The funding is going to happen from the clients.
You got to be self-funding yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is, by the way, because if you take a loan, you have to pay back the interest, and you have a mortgage.
Yeah.
Okay. Otherwise, you have a very high.
Or you have an
interest and
associate, and then I hate working with associates.
Exactly. And if you have an investor, okay, it's not a bad idea, but you still have to share your control, share your profits, and it's not easy these days to find an investor.
Yeah.
But when you are self-funded, you owe nothing to anyone.
Yeah.
You just owe it to your clients and to yourself because you've done the good efforts.
To your efforts, yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So this is something very important. Now, once you start making the money, you have to reduce your expenses. So because,
which brings me to the next question,
Exactly.
guys. Cash flow.
Yeah.
A lot of companies I know and I've heard and I've read about huge companies with great ideas, great products, that definitely failed because they could not or did not know how to manage their cash flow.
Yes.
I mean, cash flow is simple. It's cash in minus cash out. Okay.
Yes.
Is there a formula that tells you what's the minimum cash flow or cash in the till or in your company that you should always keep whatever happens?
Look, there is no specific formula, but the logic is always the same. Okay, it's very, for those who, because I know many people who say, I hate numbers, I hate business, I'm the creative person. Guys, it's very simple. Yeah. It's 1 minus 2 equals 3. It's income minus expenses equal profit.
Yeah.
This is the bottom line of any business. So whatever in minus the out, as you said, this is what I have as a net profit, or as because there is a difference between the profit and the cash flow. But anyway, for now, just to keep it simple. So technically, it's money in, money out, and whatever I have left on hand. Now, the formula is 1, to keep monitoring this report. So because many people don't keep a trace of what they earn or what they spend. This is the first mistake. So the first rule is to log them down. Now, on a paper, on an Excel, on an accounting software, of course, an accounting software helps best. But even on an Excel, just put income, and this is my daily record.
Yeah.
outcome or outgoings, this is my, and you get your net. Now, if you keep monitoring this on a regular basis, if not daily, weekly, worst case monthly, then at least you are in control of the in and out.
Yeah.
The second step is to start budgeting, because if you see that you have in, and then you don't have any in, but you still have the out, because you still have to pay your rent, you have to pay your phone, you have to pay your bills, you have to pay your food, your entertainment, whatever, then you start thinking ahead of time and you start planning ahead of time to budget for something coming in. So I make a special offer, I make a certain, although I don't like discounts, but you know, sometimes you need to make a discount, you make a bundle. So you know what, buy 10, get 2 free, you know. So you start making these just like everybody else. So, so you motivate people to buy more so that you ensure you have a recurrent income. Okay. So once your income is recurrent and your expenses, you just keep them, because some people, when they start having some income, they go crazy. So now they want to go business class, they want to change their car the same day.
There goes the cash.
Like, take it easy, guys. You know, it's okay, because today you have the money, tomorrow you might not have. So there are low seasons, there are high seasons. So just keep yourself under control in terms of emotions, and at the same time, take care of the bad times, because you have to plan also for the bad seasons. Sometimes you're sick, sometimes you have your car is not working, sometimes the client is sick, sometimes they just cancel because of a certain decision. So you have to make sure that you have a provision so that you maintain yourself in the bad times. And this is very important.
Listen, I had a couple of other questions, but I'm not going to ask them to you. I'm going to ask you a different question. I mean, I've shown you the figures. I was amazed myself when I started promoting a week ago, just 1 week ago, on LinkedIn, that, well, guys, we're going to do the podcast, Voice of Alain, blah, 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 talking about your visibility of the company, how big, how small, what's your weaknesses, what's your strengths, and all that. And this morning I checked, we've got over 2,932 impressions just about this topic.
Lovely.
What does that mean? What does it mean?
Look, it means, from my angle, it means that it's a good start. It means that you already have people who like you. It means that there is potential. It's a sign that things could be good. Now, what would it lack? It would lack, I believe, the momentum. So, like, if there is the momentum, like from my side, for example, I would look. There are a lot of podcasts out there. But it's not about the podcast itself. It's not about the logistics. It's about who is interviewing you. I've been on TV many times. And sometimes you go on TV, and with all respect to all the hosts, they drive you crazy sometimes. They get off track in a bad way, you know. So they talk about. So it's a very important, like, to have somebody who knows, who has the logic.
You got to get the message through.
Exactly, and to work from the heart and from the brain, and to have this energy and the synergy and etc. So it's something unique. It's a signature. It's like somebody who's an artist in something. Not everybody can be an artist. So when you have this skill, which you already have, so for me it's very important to be hosted by somebody who knows his job. You know, who knows how to communicate, who's speaking from the heart. So this, I believe, if this gets the right momentum, it will be unstoppable. You've been on radio for years.
20 years, 22 years.
I've been always wondering when I listen to you, where does this guy bring his energy from?
It's my passion.
Exactly. You know, so as long as there is continuity, as long as there is momentum, as long as it's your passion, it will never stop. The momentum will be there. It's going to create curiosity in, you know, in the ears of the people. You know, they want to listen to see what's new, what's going to happen, etc. And of course, it takes some good faith, you know, to have things running the right way. But I feel that we're gonna get there.
I'm gonna be making hundreds of calls. I'm gonna be sending hundreds of mails. The statistics will show that a very low percentage will respond.
Definitely. In the beginning.
In the beginning.
Yes.
That's always scary at the beginning. You no, the marketing manager is in a meeting. Yes,
Yeah.
he got your mail. He'll answer you. He's busy. He'll call you back.
Yeah.
When you get answers like that, it's discouraging. Discouraging. This is where you don't stop. You
Yes.
never give up.
Yes.
It doesn't work. Move on to the next company or the next and the next and the next.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's a momentum. It's like doing diet. It's like I cannot start diet today.
Don't say diet. It's die with a T.
Okay, I'm gonna
Diet.
change the example. It's
Diet,
like
he says.
it's like going to the gym,
Okay.
It's like you go, you start working out, you look at the mirror and nothing changed. If you stop, that's it. You
Yeah.
just killed the process, But if you keep on going every day to the gym
Yeah.
without thinking about it, you make it as a new habit. Ultimately, you're gonna look at the mirror and you say, my body is changing. If you take care of what you eat, I'm not saying going to an extreme recipe or something. If you just watch out, what you're eating and what you're drinking and so on, without noticing, give it a couple of months, you're gonna see your body transforming. It's a natural thing. It's the end result of the process. Plant something in the garden, and water it every day or every couple
Or
of
smoke
days.
it.
It's gonna get there. It's a process.
Just kidding, guys. Yeah.
It's a process, really. It's if you trust the process, it's you get what you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
So it's a process. So once we do the right process and once we keep the momentum, there is no way that it's not gonna work. And the second most important point is, I personally hate sales and I hate rejection. So I know the feeling of many people who. Actually, I don't have an exact number, but I believe that more than 80 to 90% of the entrepreneurs or wannabe entrepreneurs, they drop because they hate to sell and to market them. They don't know, and it scares the hell out of them. But once you start putting in interesting content, you start using the pull strategy. So you start relying less on the direct sales or the direct marketing, and you start receiving more leads. I remember very well, exactly in 2004, I used to count almost 90% or more on my personal efforts to sell versus less than 10% coming to me by word of mouth or getting referred and so on.
Yeah.
As of today, it's the other way around. It's 90-10. But
Okay.
it took me 20 years of hard work.
Expand is your company. That's the name of your company.
Yes, Expand Strategies. Yeah.
Expand
Yes.
Strategy. And
Yeah.
you're based in Nicosia here in Cyprus.
100%.
Okay.
It's been 3 years. I'm based in Nicosia. I came to this beautiful island 3 years ago. It was a very tough start. And I thought it would have been easier. But living on the island is beautiful, but doing business is not easy. But this is just like most of the other parts of the world. But the good thing about the island is that you have great vibes, great energy, and your mind will be so cool and so calm that you can think of creative things to do and to get moving,
Wait till you get your electricity bill.
I've got it. It's been
With
3
July
years.
and August, the way they were.
Definitely.
The way they were.
But it's nice because, and something to continue what you were saying, I remember very well somebody I tried to call 3 years ago when I first came to Cyprus, and he wouldn't give me an appointment. And after almost 1 year and a half, he called me and he's like, I'm watching you. I see you dropping your kids to school every day. I see you go to Athalassa Park and dude, you're jogging there. I'm ready to meet you.
Why was that?
Wow. This is the message. People take their time to trust people.
Okay.
So, because every time somebody new comes into a certain country, they want to start making business the first week.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen this way.
Never.
Some people get lucky enough. Some other people, they need time to trust the other person from a different part of the world, from a different nationality. So they don't know what to expect. So until they see that you keep on doing what you're doing and you still have the right passion and the right things and the right momentum, and then the snowball effect starts
Okay.
taking place.
Okay.
So yeah.
Guys, we're talking from and about Cyprus, but we're talking to the whole world here. Thank you very much for being my first guest.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. It's an honor.
No, please, don't make me blush. The honor is mine. And again, thank you. Guys, if I can make it, if he made it, we can all make it, okay? Even if you're starting from zero. Move your butt, move your ass. There's always a good idea in your head that can work.